A product photographer in Los Angeles just lost a $15,000 contract to someone who has never touched a camera. The winning bid came in at $600 total, for 50 product mockups that would have taken a traditional studio 3 weeks to produce. The person who submitted that bid made them in an afternoon using Midjourney V6, and they're now averaging $200 per mockup, selling to e-commerce brands who discovered that AI-generated product shots convert better than real photography in A/B tests. Welcome back to Zero Index. What I'm about to walk you through isn't theoretical. I spent 3 weeks testing this exact side hustle model, talking to people who are actually doing it, and pulling apart the numbers to see if the $200 per mockup claim holds up, and what I found was more complicated and more interesting than any of the tutorials will tell you. Here's the context that makes this make sense. Shopify published research showing that e-commerce brands using AI product photography reduced their listing creation time by 73%. 73%. That's not a marginal improvement, that's the difference between launching a product in 2 weeks versus launching it in 4 days. The global market for AI-powered image generation is projected to hit $2.1 billion by 2026, and the driver isn't artists or designers. It's e-commerce. It's the Amazon sellers and Shopify store owners and DTC brands who need 15 hero shots, 8 lifestyle images, and 20 social media assets for every single product they launch. Traditional product photography has always been expensive and slow. You need a studio. You need equipment. You need to ship physical products. You need to wait. A single hero shot from a professional studio can run anywhere from $150 to $500, and that's before you talk about lifestyle shots or packaging explorations. So when Midjourney V6 and now V7 started producing output that could pass for professional photography, something shifted. And I'll come back to exactly what that shift looked like inside one particular Shopify agency, because it changes everything I'm about to tell you. Most people still think AI image generation is for making weird art or fantasy landscapes. They're not paying attention to what's happening in commercial applications. The money isn't in making pretty pictures. The money is in solving expensive problems faster than the traditional solution. I need to be honest about something. When I started researching this, I expected to find dozens of people openly charging $200 per mockup on Fiverr and Upwork. That's not what I found. What I found instead was more interesting. The $200 per mockup price point exists, but it's not where most people are looking. It's happening through direct outreach to brands, through agency relationships, and through positioning that has nothing to do with mentioning AI at all. Let me break down the economics I actually verified. One creator running an Etsy shop selling AI-generated designs, not mockups, but related digital products, pulls in between $500 and $1,000 per month in passive income. That's the floor. That's what's possible with minimal effort and no client relationships. On the freelance side, I found packages ranging from $99 for a starter tier, 3 branded social media posts, up to $299 for a pro tier that includes custom logo concepts, brand color palettes, and 5 social media templates. Notice none of those explicitly mention product mockups at $200 each. Here's why. The people charging premium rates for AI-generated mockups aren't selling AI-generated mockups. They're selling product visualization services. They're selling launch packages. They're selling speed and iteration. A Midjourney Pro subscription costs $60 per month. That gets you high-volume generation, which means your actual cost per image is essentially zero once you've paid the subscription. If you're charging $200 per mockup and delivering 5 mockups per client, you're looking at $1,000 per project with almost no marginal cost. But here's the part that surprised me. The technical capabilities of Midjourney V6 and V7 are genuinely impressive for product mockups. Style reference lets you maintain visual consistency across a product line. Character reference and omni-reference help with lifestyle shots. Remix and vary region let you iterate on specific elements without regenerating entire images. For clean hero shots, lifestyle scenes, and packaging explorations, The output quality is now good enough that most consumers cannot tell the difference between AI-generated and traditionally photographed products. But there's a constraint that nobody talks about in the tutorials, and this is where most people trying this side hustle fail completely. Midjourney cannot reliably reproduce exact product specifications. It cannot render your client's actual logo correctly. It cannot guarantee that the shade of blue on the packaging matches the Pantone code their brand guidelines specify. It struggles with consistent brand representation across multiple images. This sounds like a deal breaker. And for certain clients, it is. But the people actually making money at this figured out something important. They're not selling to clients who need photorealistic reproductions of existing products. They're selling to clients who need visualization of products that don't exist yet. Pre-launch mockups. Concept development. Pitch decks. Crowdfunding campaigns. New product lines being tested before manufacturing. I want to be precise about this because most people miss it. The $200 per mockup market isn't the market you think it is. It's not competing with traditional product photography for existing products. It's creating an entirely new category, rapid product visualization for products that are still in development. And that market is massive because the alternative isn't a 500 photo shoot. The alternative is nothing. The alternative is a Canva mockup that looks like a Canva mockup. The alternative is delaying a crowdfunding campaign by 6 weeks while you wait for samples. Remember when I said I'd come back to what happened inside a specific Shopify agency? This is where it gets uncomfortable. I talked to someone who works at a mid-sized e-commerce agency in Austin. They asked me not to use their name or their company's name. 8 months ago, they started using Midjourney internally for client pitch work. Just rough concepts, nothing they were delivering as final assets. Within 3 months, those rough concepts were better than what they were getting from their contracted product photographers. Not always. But often enough that it created a problem. Their photographers were charging $200 to $350 per final image. Midjourney was producing comparable quality for what amounted to $2 per image in subscription costs and 20 minutes of iteration time. They didn't fire their photographers. What they did was more interesting. They created a new service tier, Rapid Visualization, priced at $150 to $200 per concept image. Clients could get 50 product concepts in a week instead of 5 product photos in a month. That service tier now generates more revenue than their traditional photography services. Not because each image costs more, but because the volume increased by a factor of 10. Clients who would never have paid for professional photography at all are now paying for AI-generated visualization. And here's the third reason this is happening that took me a while to track down. It's not just about cost. It's not just about speed. It's about creative iteration. When photography costs $300 per shot, you get 3 shots. Maybe 5 if you push. You don't experiment. You don't try the weird angle or the unexpected color scheme because every experiment costs real money. When AI generation costs essentially nothing per image, you can generate 50 variations. You can try things that might not work. You can show a client something they didn't know they wanted. The people charging $200 per mockup aren't charging for the image. They're charging for the exploration. They're charging for showing a client their product in 20 different contexts and letting them pick the 3 that feel right. Let me walk you through exactly how this works in practice, because the process matters as much as the output. First, the client conversation. You're not asking for a product photo. You're asking about product positioning. What feeling should this evoke? What audience is this for? What competing products should this not look like? Second, the brief. This is where most people cut corners and destroy their ability to charge premium rates. A proper brief for a $200 mockup includes brand color codes, reference images of the aesthetic they want, lifestyle context, and specific use cases for the final images. Hero shot for Amazon listing. Lifestyle shot for Instagram. Packaging shot for pitch deck. Third, generation. This is the part everyone focuses on, and it's actually the smallest part of the value chain. Midjourney prompts, style references, multiple variations. Maybe 40 minutes of actual generation time for 5 final images. Fourth, curation and refinement. This is where the premium pricing gets justified. You're not delivering 40 images. You're delivering 5 selected images that have been through very region for cleanup, potentially through additional tools for background removal or color correction, and are formatted for the specific use cases in the brief. Fifth, presentation. You don't send a zip file. You present options. You explain why you selected what you selected. You position yourself as someone who solved a problem, not someone who pushed buttons. The people failing at this are treating step 3 as the whole process. The people charging $200 per mockup are spending most of their time on steps 1, 2, 4, and 5. I'll be honest, I did not see this coming. When I started researching this topic, I expected to find a gimmick. What I found was a genuine market shift that most people are completely missing because they're looking in the wrong places. The freelance marketplaces are a race to the bottom. Fiverr is full of people offering AI-generated images for $10 because they're competing on price in a category that doesn't value what they're actually providing. The money is in direct outreach to specific categories of clients. Pre-launch e-commerce brands. Crowdfunding campaigns in the concept phase. Product designers who need visualization for client approval before manufacturing. One model that's working particularly well, selling monthly subscriptions. 50 to 100 images in a consistent style for a monthly retainer starting at $500. That's recurring revenue. That's a client who comes back every month instead of a one-time transaction. The market here isn't going to last forever in its current form. As AI image generation becomes more mainstream, the premium for human curation and strategic selection is going to compress. But right now there's a window. The standard plan at $30 per month works for testing this. The Pro plan at $60 per month is what you need if you're serious about volume. Your cost per mockup needs to justify that overhead, which means you need to be charging enough per project that a $60 monthly subscription is noise in your revenue. At $200 per mockup, 5 mockups per week, you're looking at $4,000 per month against a $60 subscription cost. The math works. The question is whether you can find the clients. Here's what I want you to sit with. The people who are going to make money from this aren't the people who are best at Midjourney. They're the people who are best at understanding what clients actually need and positioning AI generation as the solution. The skill that's becoming valuable isn't prompt engineering. It's translation. Taking a business problem, I need to launch this product but I can't afford traditional photography, and translating it into a visual solution that the client didn't know was possible. That's a skill that doesn't show up in tutorials. And it's the skill that separates the people making 50 from the people making 200 for the same image. In the next 24 hours, I want you to do something specific. Find 5 Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaigns that launched in the last month with product images that look like amateur mockups. Canva templates. Stock photo compositions. The kind of visual presentation that makes a good product look cheap. Those are your potential clients. They already needed professional product visualization. They launched without it because they didn't know there was an affordable alternative. And most of them are going to launch another product in the next 6 months. The market isn't saturated. The market isn't even properly discovered yet. The question is whether you're going to be someone who sees it, or someone who watches other people figure it out first. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.